पृष्ठाय श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। आनन्दलीलामयविग्रहाय हेमाभदिव्यै छविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. That's it. So yesterday we saw that Mahaprabhu was citing this example that a poor man goes to an astrologer, and the astrologer, when he sees the horoscope of this poor man, he's shocked that how is it that he is so poor, because he has a very rich father who has kept a huge wealth for him. And then this astrologer tells him that which direction you need to search for this wealth and which direction you should not go and search. So we saw that on the west there is mental speculation. In the north there is this meditational yoga process. In the south there is ritualistic Vedic rituals. But in the east there is the actual light, and on the east, that is the practice of devotional service. By this he will surely get the entire treasure that our Supreme Father has kept for all of us. Then the astrologer also tells him that what are the dangers if he goes to these other directions. He says that on one side, which side? On the western side, there is Yaksha. Yaksha means a very evil spirit, a very dangerous spirit who is protecting the treasure. And if he goes to the west side, then that Yaksha, which is Jnana Yoga, trying to understand the supreme by one's own intelligence, speculative process of self-realization. What will happen? This Yaksha, this evil spirit, will kill him, and therefore he will never attain the wealth. And then on the other side, which is um, meditational yoga, which is the northern side. So if he goes there, what will happen? A huge serpent will swallow him. The large serpent will swallow this person, so he will not be able to get the treasure. And any other practice other than the devotional service is actually suicidal. The only possibility then is to search for the hidden treasure on the eastern side, which represents the process of devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. Indeed, the process of devotional service is itself the perpetual hidden treasure. So the process itself is the perpetual hidden treasure. And one who attains to it becomes perpetually rich. One who is poor in devotional service to Krishna is always in need of material gain. He is always hankering after something. So basically, he is eternally poor. Sometimes he suffers the bites of poisonous creatures and is baffled, and sometimes he follows the philosophy of monism and thereby loses his identity and is swallowed by a large serpent. Monism means that we all merge into the Supreme. whatever white light and we merge into it. That is monism. So that is like getting swallowed by a large serpent. It is only by abandoning all of this and becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness that the devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, one will be able to fully or actually achieve the perfection of life. So, by Krishna's mercy, we come to chapter 5. How to approach God. In truth, all Vedic literature directs the human being towards the perfect stage of devotion. The paths of fruitive activities or speculative knowledge, meditation, they do not lead one to the perfectional stage, but the Lord is actually approachable by one who follows the process of devotional service. Anybody following this process becomes very easy to approach the Supreme Lord. By any other forms or any other means, any other process, it is very, very difficult, almost impossible. Therefore, all Vedic literature recommends that one accepts this process. Which process? Devotional service. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted that the Lord's instructions to Sri Uddhav ji, in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.14.20 and 21. न साधयति माम योगो न सांख्यम धर्म उद्धव न स्वाध्यायस्तपस्त्यागो यथा भक्तिर्ममूर्जिता भक्त्याहम एकया ग्राह्यः श्रद्धयात्मा प्रियः सताम् भक्तिः पुनाति मन्निष्ठा स्वपाकान् अपि संभवात्. My dear Uddhav, neither philosophical speculation, nor meditational yoga, nor penances can give me such pleasure as devotional service practiced by the living entities. I am dear only to my devotees, and I can be achieved only by devotional service. Even an extremely low born person will become free from all contamination if he takes to my devotional service. Devotional service is the only path by which one can achieve the Supreme Person. Okay, why Krishna is so much um, uh, giving importance to devotional service and saying that all other paths, and here he's also saying, Krishna is saying that Krishna is very dear to only his devotees. What does that mean? So, when we actually really love someone, for example, the best example is a mother and a child. The mother loves the child. It may not be fully unconditional because we are in the material world, so everything is conditioned. But still, the mother and the child's love is closer to, or at least better than the other conditionings. So the mother tries to serve the child unconditionally, not expecting what the child will do, at least when the child is small. So the mother will feed the child lovingly, the mother will change the diaper. The mother is doing everything. She's awake the whole night taking care of the child. Even when the child grows up, child may be doing various tantrums, but that doesn't mean the mother will pick the child by the neck and throw the child out of the balcony. No mother does that. Okay, even if the child is like a pain, okay, giving so much pain, but still the mother's love is so much. Both, all parents, I mean mother and father, it's not that fathers don't love the child. So but the parents love the child so much that they are still, they don't give up on the child. They keep loving the child, keep serving the child, time to time give them whatever is required, the food, milk, or whatever. Take, if it is winter, buying warm clothes for them, taking care that okay, they don't feel cold in the when they are sleeping at night. All those things, small things. Why? Because out of love, the service that they are doing is automatically coming. It's not something that somebody has told the mother or the father that you should do this or you should do that for your child. No, it is coming out of spontaneous love. And therefore the child is so attached, very um um I mean that is why the child is so attached to the parents. That is a natural uh, uh, you know uh, response to that kind of love or service. That is what Krishna is also saying, that my devotees means what? The devotees love Krishna so much, they are always thinking of Krishna. How can I serve Krishna? How will Krishna feel happy? What do I do if Krishna, to make Krishna happy? Oh, it is cold, so now they are putting, sweaters in the date. They are making the deities wear the sweaters. नॉन डिवोटीज दे विल थिंक कि अरे ये तो मूर्ति है, मूर्ति को ठंड लगती है क्या, क्या बेवकूफ की तरह ये मूर्ति को स्वेटर पहना के रखा है. दैट इज द थॉट प्रोसेस ऑफ द नॉन डिवोटीज, बिकॉज दे हैव नो फीलिंग फॉर कृष्णा. They have no emotions for Krishna. That is why they are non-devotees. That means the love for Krishna in their heart is still in the dormant stage. But the devotees, if it is cold, they will keep a blanket for Krishna. They will try to find the best clothes for Krishna. When they are selecting clothes, they will see whether it will hurt the skin of my deities, because they are not seeing it like a murti. They are not thinking this is some metal or this is wood or this is stone. No, they are saying this is my Krishna, this is my Gaur Nitai, or this is my Jagannath Baladev Subhadrama. So that is the mood of the devotees, and they are always in love with Krishna, and therefore Krishna is always in love with them. Krishna is also always thinking, what does my devotee need? Oh, the devotee, this devotee, there is danger, so I should protect the devotee. And Krishna is planning out everything. Krishna, when he sees that, okay, now my devotee may feel cold, so he's arranging everything so that the devotee doesn't catch cold or doesn't have to go through too much suffering. Krishna is also doing the same thing that the devotees are doing for Krishna. So, therefore, Krishna is saying, I am dear only to my devotees. Others who are not devotees, they don't have that much love for Krishna. They don't have any feelings for Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is not dear to them. But still, Krishna as the Supreme Father continuously does his duties towards them. He is still taking care of those people who don't care about him. It's not that Krishna is also not throwing them out of the balcony. You are because we are all Krishna's children. But to those who are Krishna's devotees, Krishna is very dear to them, and they are also very dear to Krishna. And therefore, Krishna is saying that I can be achieved only by devotional service, only by my pure devotees. Therefore, we should catch hold of pure devotees, the lotus feet of pure devotees, because Krishna she tomar, Krishna dite paro, তোমার শক্তি আছে. Our Vaishnav Acharya in this bhajan, Vaishnav bhajan, they are saying that a Vaishnav, a pure devotee, spiritual master, they already have Krishna. Krishna is theirs, and therefore they can give us Krishna. আমি তো কাঙাল, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি, ভাই তব পাছে পাছে. আমি কাঙ্গাল, I'm a wretched, I have nothing, and therefore I'm saying Krishna Krishna, I'm begging, please give me Krishna, please give me Krishna, and I'm running after you. We have to run after the pure devotees, we have to beg the pure devotees so that they give us Krishna. If somebody only has 10 rupees and I go to that person and I say that I want 1000 rupees, please give me, will that person be able to give me 1000 rupees? Obviously not. But if somebody has 10 lakh rupees and I go and tell him that please give me 10,000 rupees, will that person be able to give me? Yes. Similarly, a person who already has Krishna, already has Krishna Prem, such a person can easily give it to us. But others who don't have this will not be able to give, no matter how scholarly they are. They may have everything of the material world, but if they don't have Krishna Prem, which we are looking after, which we want, then we don't have anything. There is no need to go to that person. We only have to find the person who can give us Krishna Prem. So we should always desire not to become great devotees, but to become servant of the great devotees, of the pure devotees. We should never aspire that please make me a great devotee. No, that means we want to become famous. But when we think that I want to become the servant of your most dear devotee, that means our mood is das, which is very, very pleasing to Mahaprabhu, very pleasing to Krishna. That is the mood of our Radharani. And therefore, Mahaprabhu came with that mood, because Mahaprabhu has come with the mood of Srimati Radharani. So this is not something that only we are expected to do. This is the greatest devotee, Srimati Radharani. Her mood is like this. So if we see, pure devotees always have this mood. They are always in the mood of das anudas anudas. They are always serving. Even an extremely low-born person will become free from all contamination if he takes to my devotional service. Devotional service is the only path by which one can achieve the Supreme Person. Devotional service is the only perfection accepted by all the Vedic literatures. Vedic literatures does not just mean it belongs to one particular caste or creed. Vedic literatures is for everyone, all humanity. What to speak of humans? Just as when a poor man receives some treasure, he becomes very happy. When one attains to devotional service, his material pains are automatically vanquished. As one advances in devotional service, he attains the love of Godhead, that is, love of Krishna. As he advances in this love, he becomes free from all material bondage. And therefore he becomes fully blissful, fully happy. One should not think, however, that the disappearance of poverty and the liberation from bondage are the goals of devotional service. Very important point. People are mostly stuck here, therefore, they can't progress. One should not think that the disappearance of poverty, that now I'm not poor, and the liberation from bondage, now I'm not bound by the material pain. This is not the goal of devotional service. This is just byproduct. Love of Krishna, love of God is itself the goal, and it consists in relishing the reciprocation of loving service with the Lord. Relishing the reciprocation of loving service with the Lord. In the spiritual world, there is a constant competition going on, not like the material world. In the material world, it is a rat race, competition, cutthroat competition, how to pull others down. It's different. But in the spiritual world, the competition is the devotees of Krishna. They are trying to please Krishna. How can I please Krishna more than he is pleasing me? And Krishna is thinking, how can I please the devotee more than he is pleasing me? So that competition is going on. And in that, what is happening? Both are becoming so overwhelmed with transcendental bliss that the joy is unthinkable. So, um, the Supreme Lord is the goal of. So in all Vedic literatures, we find that the attainment of this loving relationship between the living entity and the Supreme Lord, that is the ultimate goal of devotional service. Our actual function is devotional service, and our ultimate goal is love of Godhead. So actual function is what? Devotional service. If we are doing anything other than that, we should understand we are serving Maya, and we are only going to attract more and more material bondage and material pain and suffering. And ultimate goal is love of Godhead. Therefore, in all Vedic literatures, Krishna is the ultimate center. And through knowledge of Krishna, all the problems of life are solved. So we'll stop here, and Krishna willing, we'll continue tomorrow. So thank you very much. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरी
बोल।
हरी
हरि बोल।
One more thing.